Welcome, jesters. I propose the To Love Act. Yes, the Total Labor Value Reporting Act. Because, friends on the left, you are paid a lot more than you think. Or rather, your labor, because that's something our friends on the left always focus on, your labor is actually costing your employer, your boss, a lot more than you think, and we think you should know. Now, anybody who has a job, well, I guess I would exclude most people on the left. Anyway, look at your pay stubs or whatever, and you're going to see all the standard deductions. Like federal taxes, state taxes, FICA, which is Medicare and Social Security. And then there are a number of optional things that, depending on your employment package, you can sign up for, like, a medical plan, a health savings account, 401k contributions. Right? All this is well known. There are things that your employer is contributing money on your behalf and whatnot, and this is reported to you as part of your total compensation. But there are a lot more things that your employer is paying as part of the cost of your labor that is hidden from you. And they are hidden from you for a very specific reason, and that's because the politicians don't want you to know that they're stealing your money. Or rather, they don't really want you to know how much of your money, how much of the value of your labor they are stealing. And just because I think disclosure and, transparency is something that everybody values, I actually think that employers should be required to disclose all of this to every employee, right? So, what is the employer paying on your behalf that you never see? Money that you never see that really is part of your labor, right? So there's the employer contribution for Social Security and Medicare. Yep, you pay and they also pay. There's unemployment insurance. There's workers' compensation insurance. There's disability insurance. And starting in Virginia, maybe some other states have this, the family and medical leave insurance. All of these things are secret contributions to, in many cases, government plans on your behalf. But again, I kept reminding you that this is money that is costing them to employ you. So this is part of the labor that you are providing them, right? It's money that you never see because the politicians don't want you to see it. But that's not it. Absolutely not. There's other money that has to be accounted for internally that costs your employer, right, for your labor that you never see. Union dues are a big part of it, right? And you should be able to find this out in your contract. You should be able to find out how much your employer is paying the union for you. Union pension contributions, because they always work out so well. They don't, by the way. They keep having to get bailed out. Yeah, that's more money that your employer is contributing on your behalf that you never see. Professional licenses that the employer is paying on your behalf that in many cases, you don't even know about. This happened to me years ago. I remember we're all in the office and, one of the office assistants comes by and she starts handing out these little slips and like, okay, here's your occupational license. And we're all like, for what? We're consultants. What do you mean? Oh, well, I guess you need an occupational license to do this thing. Okay. Yeah. Nobody cared. Nobody knew about it. Nobody has it. No one ever asked for it. So yeah, how useful was that? But the company paid for it. Right? Mandated training, government mandated training, and all sorts of things. I'm sure we've all been through things like, HIPAA and SOX and whatever. There's another one I talked about the other day, all these things that the government insists which everybody promptly forgets, but all of that costs money that they could be paying you. Then, of course, there's employment-related fines. Yes, if your employer is found guilty of, being naughty in how they treat you, if, they're shortchanging workers on wages and things like that, they are fined. And they pay that fine to the government, not to the employees. Maybe they have to reimburse the employees, but the fine goes to the government. The employees are abused, but the money goes to the government. No. If the company is, wronging their workers, then the workers should get that money, and that should be reflected. You know what? If the workers can't get the money, then the money that they're paying on your behalf should be reflected on your pay stub, so that you know that the government is getting that money, which probably should be yours as well. Oh yeah, there are a lot of things that your employer is paying on your behalf. There are a lot of things that they're paying as part of the cost of your labor, right? They might only pay you $75,000, but it actually costs them over $100,000 sometimes to hire you. Shouldn't you be getting that $100,000, right? Shouldn't all this money be paid to you and then you pay for all these things? I mean, if they're so absolutely necessary, I'm sure you would voluntarily pay for all these insurances, but shouldn't you be paid the money, right? You're the one working. Don't you deserve all of the money and not the politicians? I think you know I'm right.